Hi, everyone. So I just want to record a quick video here just to emphasize what goes into a strong landing page. Uh, you know, with the way advertising is heading, specifically PPC ads, there is more and more of the targeting aspect being accomplished by AI. There's very specific ways to feed those AI algorithms, like the bid strategies in Facebook ads or Google Ads campaigns. There's a lot of really key components to good marketing, but some of those things are being done better and better by AI. So one thing that I am finding more and more is that just think about it this way. 10 years ago or 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago is a better example, half of people were using really poor bid strategies. So by just having a really strong bid strategy or ad campaigns, you are already set ahead of everyone else. Nowadays, if you are running ads, almost everyone else is using a conversion-based bid strategy. So what sets you apart? It's either a really custom bid strategy approach, or it's the other things that you can control that you know are going to be done completely differently than your competitors, aka your creatives and your landing pages. Those are things that you still have complete control over. You can still analyze and dissect and find out little minute differences that lead to higher conversion rates. So when it comes to landing page design, I'm not going to read through this whole resource. It's very in-depth. It's a very good resource. If anybody wants it, feel free to DM me. I'll shoot you the link, but you can also look it up yourself. Um, to really simplify what goes into a strong landing page, there's a lot of ways you can look at it, but what I care about for my customers is always just purchase rate. We just want more conversions. That's the bottom line. Unless there's a different goal that we are told is the priority, that's what we care about. We want more conversions for all of our customers. So the purchase rate is the only thing that matters, really. For ads to be valuable, they have to be generating some kind of purchase or conversion rate. What that is, this equation makes perfect sense logically, right? It's the desire somebody has for your product or service minus the labor and confusion you put in the way of them converting. So there's two ways to accomplish a good landing page, or there's two priorities here. It's reduce these. You end up with the largest purchase rate by having whatever this is, and reducing the labor and confusion, basically the friction anyone has when they come to the page between getting the information they need and doing what they want. That is one way to get more purchase rate. The other way is to improve desire. So ideally you want to be doing both. How would you improve desire? Having a really good offer is first and foremost a really good way to do that. But some people out here operate in industries where the offer can't be changed, or they offer a high level service, right? And they're not going to have the cheapest price or some kind of exceptional offer. What they're selling is a very high end service. So how do they increase the desire there? Social proof is an example. Showcasing videos about it, explaining how it works. Social proof is probably the biggest one there. Any credentials you have, if you have certifications, my agency recently got a Google Premier Partner badge. That is probably one of the best certifications we can have. So we now try and brag about that on all our landing pages. It's a similar thing. If you work in an industry where you have a certification of any kind, those can improve desire, can improve the desirability of working with you over a different business or buying your product over another company's. And labor and confusion, long pages. If a page is really long, that's a lot of labor for someone. If somebody has to work to find the information and it's not really simple, or they have to read a paragraph to get the information they need, that again is more labor and confusion. So making the page really simple. One way that I like to look at that is there are, let's say 10 people look at your page. They click from an ad, they look on your page. There are a few people who are just the kind of person who's going to read everything, and they like you, and they're going to read everything. Those people are going to convert anyways, whether your page is, super long or if it's just an above the fold view, basically. Those are the kind of people who will absorb all the information and understand what you're doing. But there's also, that might be, 1, 2, maybe 3 out of 10 people. who clicked, maybe less. So those people are going to convert anyways. And a lot of people, that is their argument is, well, I want the people who are reading. But the reality is people are very busy and their attention span is getting smaller on the internet. That's just the reality of human nature right now. So the goal of a landing page is not to convert the people who are already going to convert. It's to still convert those, let's just say 1 to 2 people, but also be able to convert those other 1 to 2 people who are let's just say they're a busy parent with 5 kids. They're so busy, they only have a few seconds to look at your site. And if they can't figure out what it's about, they're just going to leave. Or they're a busy business owner. They're so busy, they only have a few seconds to look at your site. If you can't get the message across, they're just going to leave. The goal is to convert those people who we're going to anyways and create a design that creates desirability and lowers friction enough that those other people with lower attention spans, they will also be interested. They will get what they need to be convinced that it's worth talking. So with that in mind, I'm just going to show some really strong examples of web pages, of landing pages from companies that, first one is HubSpot. So a lot of business owners will know this site. They have this chat. I'm just going to close that. It's an unmistakable headline. Again, reducing confusion. A lot of people will pick headlines that are very out there, let's say, and they're fine. They're creative writing, but do people understand in a second what your business does and what the value is? This one states that very clearly, and it has only 2 sentences to back it up. All it has above the fold is there's no menu. It's intentional, right? That part of that is to reduce confusion and reduce labor. If you reduce tons of different things people can do, they're more likely to just do the thing that you set in front of them, which is just view this page. If the only thing to really do is view this page and the only actions on the page are call to actions, then there's basically 2 options. View the page and leave, or view the page and do the desirable action. You've reduced all the endless potential possibilities of different things that people can do on site. You've reduced it down to just 2 things. So there's call to actions. There's no menu to reduce options. Social proof front and center. Another little value add. Get a clear view of all your deals. It highlights the value add, a little explanation about it. Note, this is the most writing I think you'll see on this entire page. It's probably 3 to 4 sentences, and then a call to action. Again, call to actions are littered throughout the page. It's clear exactly what this tool does at every part of the page. And there's always a method of deciding that you want to move forward throughout the page. And for those people who want to read more or are curious about one of these specific things, they can get more information, but not too much information that it is going to be boring and create tons of labor for them to convert. There's a lot of social proof. Thousands of businesses use HubSpot to grow better. It emphasizes lots of people use us. What do they use us for? To grow better. Social proof videos are some of the best social proof you can have. Video testimonials. The reality is social proof works for the human mind. We like to know that others trust a company as well, and especially other established brands. And then again, it highlights simplified pipeline management, what highlights free smart CRM. You know who they are, you know that it's free, it's a smart CRM, and you know that it simplifies pipeline management. It's a really direct headline. A lot of times people get, business owners or web page designers will get a little bit caught up in trying to make the language too creative. What I like to do personally is put myself inside the perspective of that busy, person who's trying to run a business or work and make a decision on a purchase, who is trying to raise a massive family and they have no time to look at things. If they were to land on this, Would they land on this above the fold view? Would they know exactly what they're looking at and exactly what it does and exactly why you're legitimate and a good option? But taking that same logic anywhere else on the page, if they were to come here, would they still understand, well, who we are, what we offer, what the value add is, and why they should pick us? Is that very clear? And I think a lot of times the answer is language that is just very simple and direct gets the message across. It's much more important to reduce labor, reduce confusion, and be direct than to have ultra creative writing. If the ideal situation, and this is what the best landing page copywriters do, is to have language that is very creative and catchy, but accomplishes that at the same time. So this is a great page. There's only a few other links, and you really have to you have to be hunting for them. They're on a dark part of the page at the bottom. So it's basically, it reduces the opportunities to leave, which increases the odds that somebody will do something on page. Another one is one of my favorite softwares called call tracking metrics. We use them for a lot of our ad campaigns to track phone calls. They, of course, have the chat as well. Again, there's no menu. It leaves, again, those two options that I mentioned. People can either stay on site and pay attention, and either do a desirable action or leave. So there's a phone number to call. There's a book a demo button. Make confident, data-backed marketing decisions. I think that call tracking metrics, lucky for them, call tracking metrics, you kind of know exactly that that's a call tracking tool. So they don't necessarily need this headline to say we're a call tracking software. That's the only thing that I personally would probably say I would consider doing different, or I would be A/B testing if I were them, is what if people land here and they don't know exactly what this tool is yet? I like the headline to be just dumbfoundingly clear, where it works for the person with the longest attention span, and it also is dumbfoundingly clear to the person with the least awareness or the least attention span there. So, but it does say the value that you get from it. The name kind of does replace that aspect of saying, hey, we're a call tracking tool. And then it says exactly what they do. Track and attribute every call, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Book a demo. There's not much that needs to be above this fold. And then it just highlights the value over and over again. It never really explicitly says they're a call tracking software. I think they're fortunate that their name kind of says it, but improve ROI, increase conversions, drive revenue. It's just highlighting the exact value that they bring to the table. Possible form fill, another way to convert. Little bit of information. Again, it's the most text you'll see anywhere on the page. That's a lot, actually, by a lot of landing page standards, but it's not bad. Goes right into all the options that they have and the value, the tools that they bring. Social proof, just immediately into social proof from real businesses. Highlighting again value. Social proof, again, this is what I'm talking about. If you have any valuable credentials that do add legitimacy, then they're absolutely useful. Customer success stories from marketers like you. Again, they know their persona. It's going to be marketing people or business owners or marketing managers at companies. You can go to case studies if you'd like. More social proof, or sorry, more option to basically convert. You can just go right into selecting plan. And they have a little more at the bottom here, and then combine it with social proof. So it's still a strong page. It's just different. I personally like the HubSpot page better. I think HubSpot does happen to have the one thing going for them, that they're a household name brand for most business owners. A lot of people have heard of them, especially anyone with any digital aspect to their company has most likely heard of HubSpot. So they do have that advantage. This is one I recently came across. Bears Dev, their staff augmentation software or company with software developers, deliver your software projects effortlessly. They outsource staff, etc. So it says exactly what you're getting. Deliver your software projects effortlessly. It's exactly what you're getting from hiring them. It's not what you do. It's not them just saying, this is what we do. It's them saying, this is the end result for you. Very strong approach with copywriting. Top rated software development services. Again, this is just added here. I like this. It kind of accomplishes what I was mentioning I like. It makes it dumbfoundingly obvious exactly what they're doing. You can't really read that and not understand this is a software development service. A little more explanation of what they do. Option to convert right above the fold. I'm just going to say I agree. Immediate social proof, really awesome social proof from very legitimate organizations. More social proof, video testimonials, like I said, are some of the best social proof you can have. There's something about looking at another person's face. It's just something about human psychology. It feels more real. It feels more legitimate. It is more verifiable. To have a real person hopping on camera to verify that you are who you say you are does add legitimacy, no matter how legitimate you already look. And I think there's more of these as well. Options for how they can work with you. They basically just lay it out. So again, more information about the product. You kind of get all the information about the product that you need right in here. From concept to completion, a glimpse of our expertise. Again, just even more detail about exactly who they are. Again, even more, that might be an objection that people might have is, well, do they work with my language? They just basically have found a really creative way to demonstrate we work with that code language. These are just more value adds. They're not contributing as much, I think, as specifically saying what code language they do, but they're good to include. And there's call to actions littered throughout this site as well. So this is actually the second one. A little more information about them. Social proof, more social proof, more social proof. Something that differentiates them, what makes our service high end. Let's assemble your team, another call to action, more social proof, and then basically the end. How the process works. What is it like to work with us? Or how it flows to work with us. And ready to accelerate your software development. More social proof and a call to action. This is a really strong landing page. I like it a lot. That's why I bookmarked it. I find it's a really strong example to show people. Kudos to Veristev for that. I think this is something I came across when I reviewing some service needs that I have. I didn't end up needing to move forward with it, but this page really caught my attention. So I'll end this video here, but I think this is a really good rundown. If you can imagine what I like to do with landing pages, make sure they have social proof, make sure they have direct language that's unmistakable, make sure they highlight the value in a very simple way. What is it that people are actually getting and how does it work? Another way to look at this is you want to accomplish that in as simple of terms as possible, because that reduces labor and confusion for the people. And some companies don't feel comfortable bragging about their credentials. Those are the things that differentiate you. There's a transportation company in the transportation space that we were recently working with, and we were talking about their landing page. And they're a well-established company that's been around for decades, and their initial version of the landing page didn't have any brags or anything, but they're a very well-established company that people have enjoyed working with for literally decades. We need to be bragging about that stuff. We need all your credentials, all your certifications, any governing body badges that you have. Those should all be on there. If you look at it this way, this is basically your digital. It's like a digital first step in your sales process. You want it to accomplish things simply, make it easy for the kind of person who's shopping and considering working with you. But you also, to some extent, you want to think about who they are and what considerations or objections might they have. And it's almost like you want the landing page to try and respond to any objections that company or that person might have on page. If you can handle those on page in simple, easy terms, then it will improve conversion rate. Of course, there's a lot of nuances to landing pages. In a perfect world, you'd be A/B testing a variety of different versions of pages. Landing pages are very nuanced. This page is very strong, but if they were to change one section here and wait until they had a lot of data about which page did better, there will be differences, or there will usually be differences. It depends on how important to the section you change. And you want to be doing that because over time, one page will start doing better than the other. And then you start spending your money on the page that does a little bit better, that little percentage higher of conversion rates, that means more customers. And that's how you kind of get incrementally better over time, is continuously testing different campaign types, or sorry, testing different variations of your landing pages. Same kind of thing you would do with creative testing in an ad campaign, kind of testing or testing new settings that come out in Google Ads or Facebook ads, because we all know that those platforms literally, they're changing faster than they ever used to now. They change literally every month. There's new changes. So I'll end this video here, and if you ever have any questions about this, always feel free to visit our website and shoot me a message. Happy to chat, happy to answer questions if you are looking for help with this kind of work or PPC ads.